everyone. So I guess I'm sitting over here getting a little bit mad. And the thing that I'm realizing, why am I mad? Well, it's because for what feels like the umpteenth time in this neighborhood, a plan comes forward, is sort of dropped on the community with not a whole lot of notice, in fact, none, and the community has to do its own organizing, hire lawyers, have presentations, have loud meetings, and take the burden on themselves to fight something. Now, this is not the only issue we've had like this in the neighborhood. We've got another one going on just around the corner involving the Lincoln Park Hospital development. And there have been many others in the past. And it kind of makes me mad because the way I think development should be done in a neighborhood, in our beautiful neighborhood, is that when a developer wants to do something in our community, he should have to convince us that what he wants to do is a good thing, rather than us have to convince them that what they want to do is a bad thing. So the real problem here is that you were taken advantage of. You weren't told. There wasn't given a process. And indeed, you were given a deadline. Well, no wonder you had to organize in the way that you had to be told. And in fact, let me just correct something right now. The person who is in charge of making sure that development takes place properly in our ward is not Francis Parker School, it's the alderman. So that when I'm alderman, as I have been saying for the entire time that I've been running, we will have completely orderly, timely, and transparent, and fully informational processes for determining development. Development will not be, development and issues such as this, because it's a zoning issue, will not be crammed down anybody's throat. No guns to your head, no deadlines by which you must act or something will happen to you, because that is not the way I believe an alderman should run her office. And that is my pledge to you, that on this issue and any other issue, because you know what? We have a lot going on in our neighborhood. You need to be assured that when we redevelop the hospital next door, when we redevelop Children's, when we fix Clark Street, which is a mess, right, because it's empty, that is a fully involved process for the neighborhood. And that's really what this is about. Now, the lights issue, wait a minute, guys, wait a minute. I'm also going to insist that we all respect one another. And you did not get respected, right? You didn't get respect. You got something given to you with a short deadline. So I think the lights are a very bad idea. All right? So we can, I mean, this is sort of easy in a way. The lights are very bad ideas. So they're a very bad idea, and I do not support them. Okay? I just want to make it clear.
Yeah.
To know that unlike many other, the way we do development in this area is going to change if I'm elected at your alderman. Because having to hire lawyers, this is not, I mean, I don't know how many of you lived here a long time, let's say over 20 years. Who's lived over 20 years? Sure. Now, we have all been very active in developing our neighborhood, but the string of having to hire lawyers and protest meetings is really a lot different than the way it used to be. And I'm going to make sure that when we do development, the burden is on me to protect the community and to act as the steward of this community. Because that's what the alderman's job is. Isn't to stand back and watch people fight, which is the way it has been in our community. So I again want to assure you that there will be no deadlines, there will be no guns to your head, that whatever comes out of Francis Parker next time will not be a surprise, it won't end, because we will all start to respect one another. Because there's one other thing that I fundamentally believe, so you know where I'm coming from. We live in a big city. We live on top of one another, right? I live in a condominium. I happen to live in a condominium, and I sort of go by the condominium rules. And here's what they are. I can't play my piano after 10 o'clock at night. I play badly. So that would even be worse. Now that may inconvenience me, because I would like to play the piano at midnight when I come home late. But I can't. You know why? Because in a condominium we have rules so that we don't harm one another, right? You can't do construction at a particular time. The fundamental rule that I believe governs city living when we're all like this on one another is do not harm one another. That's the number one rule. And that when the development comes, that because we're living like this, it creates issues. The goal is to minimize, if not eliminate, the harm. Because sometimes, you know, it's hard to do that. This is a pretty easy issue. I've already given you my position. But this election is about, frankly, this issue, because it's right now, but it's also about what the direction you want this war to take in the future. That is what it is about. And I've given you my philosophy of development, and I would love to have your support in February 22nd.
Folks,
Thank you.
Michelle is got to go to another engagement, but we're going to break the.
I just said no.
We're going to.